Alright, my fellow Star Wars nerds, we're doing this. We're gonna start off with Anakin being all about potentially Obi-Wan and Padme having a thing. Just look at Revenge of the Sith. That line, "You're with him," plays as a little bit more than just jealousy, don't it?
No!
You're with him! You brought him here to kill me!
No!
See, it feels more like rage fueled by suspicion. Just rewatch the prequels, and Obi-Wan's tenderness toward Padme stands out a little bit too much. The gentle concern, the quiet moments of trust, the looks that linger just a little bit too long. A lot of fans argue that Anakin wasn't paranoid, he was picking up on what Obi-Wan was probably laying down on the side. Enjoying some theories so far? Then please consider subscribing.
I need your help. He is in grave danger.
From the Sith?
From himself. Padme.
Moving on. Maybe not an outright romance, but there were definitely some unspoken feelings that Obi-Wan buried beneath Jedi discipline. Whether it was one fleeting kiss or maybe some tension stretched across years, the lens kind of reframes Anakin's spiral as a tragedy born from love triangles, loyalty, and some forbidden emotions. But while this theory adds a lot of heartbreak, our next one adds some cold-blooded murder to the Lars family barbecue. Toasty. Picture it, Owen and Beru's homestead in flames, skeletons charred in the sand, and for years, fans whispered that Fett himself was behind it. Vader's sharp command in Empire Strikes Back, "No disintegrations," kinda seemed like a little bit of a nod to maybe some of his past activities.
There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegrations.
Could the bounty hunter have been a little too quick on the trigger back on Tatooine? Expanded material, though, says, nah, Fett was tracking the droids, not frying farmers. The real culprits were most likely stormtroopers covering their tracks after wiping out the Jawas. Still, though, the image of Fett walking away from the smoldering ruins kinda stuck in fans' minds, turning a simple Imperial cleanup into one of the saga's darkest what-if moments. Now, if Fett's guilt is murky, Mace Windu's fate is even murkier, because fans refuse to believe that he's dead. Yeah, the purple lightsaber, the lightning crash, the long fall into Coruscant traffic, Mace Windu's exit looked final. But fans never bought it. After all, Maul came back from being chopped in half a bunch of times. So why not Mace? Samuel L. Jackson himself has pushed the idea for years, even saying George Lucas gave him a wink of approval. And yo, let's not forget, in Star Wars, no body, no funeral. That's rule number 1. This popular theory suggests that Mace survived, scarred and bitter, slipping underground while the galaxy burned. Maybe he was just too broken to fight, or maybe he chose exile, watching from the shadows. Now, if that's true, then the Jedi who nearly stopped Palpatine could still be out there somewhere, waiting for a second act. Now, speaking of hidden power, what if the galaxy's dumbest Gungan was really its darkest mastermind? You're a Jedi crazy! Now hear me out. This guy was dismissed as comic relief, but Jar Jar became the centerpiece of one of the wildest theories in fandom history. In Attack of the Clones, he's the one who hands Palpatine emergency powers, essentially helping the Republic collapse. Oh, and go rewatch The Phantom Menace, and his accidental survival in battles starts looking less like luck and more like martial arts in disguise. George Lucas himself once called Jar Jar the key to all of this, and Ahmed Best admitted that there were bigger plans for him before Backlash shut them all down. You add in a deleted scene where Jar Jar and Palpatine talk privately, and the breadcrumbs start looking awfully suspicious. If true, Jar Jar's goofy grin wasn't foolishness, it was the galaxy's greatest deception. But while Jar Jar may have hidden his secrets, Leia's were written across her face the entire time. Her line in Jedi, "Somehow I've always known," it's not just dramatic, it's a clue.
I know. Somehow, I've always known.
Fans argue that Leia's Force sensitivity let her feel the truth way before Luke spelled it out. From the moment they meet in A New Hope, the bond is uncanny. They sense each other across distances and communicate in ways that defy explanation. The kiss in Empire? Some say that it reads like denial, as if she were pushing away feelings that she couldn't make any sense of. Maybe deep down she always knew it wasn't Han standing between her and Luke. It was the Force itself, humming in the background, waiting for her to accept what she didn't really want to see. And just as Leia's instincts were stronger than she realized, so were Finn's, way before the sequels were willing to admit it. When Finn takes off his helmet in The Force Awakens, it's more than a soldier breaking free. It's the first sign of something different inside him. He senses Rey's pain, reacts to distant threats, and even picks up a lightsaber to duel Kylo Ren. Clumsy, yes, but also absolutely fearless. Abrams later admitted that Finn's secret line to Rey was meant to be, "I can feel the Force." The novelization of The Rise of Skywalker confirms it outright. He may not be levitating rocks, but he does break free of brainwashing, bonds instantly with Rey, and follows instincts no stormtrooper should have. Finn's power was never about what he did on screen. It was about what was inside of him all along. Anakin's mom dying in his arms wasn't just a tragedy. Some fans think it was all a dirty setup. In Clones, Shmi is captured by Tusken Raiders, tortured and left to die. On the surface, it looks totally random, but Palpatine thrived on emotional manipulation. The theory says that he arranged her kidnapping, possibly through Dooku or underworld contacts, in order to break Anakin's spirit. Some rumors even claim early drafts had Palpatine admitting that he orchestrated it. Now, whether or not that's true, the timing is suspicious AF. Anakin's Rage Massacre happens right after, cementing his first steps toward the dark side. Palpatine didn't need to swing a saber, he just needed to push Anakin into despair. And while Palpatine may have been plotting for the shadows, the Death Star's explosion created a far more visible nightmare for the galaxy. The fireworks at the end of Jedi make it look like the Ewoks got their happy ending, woohoo, but physics says otherwise. See, the second Death Star wasn't just fireworks, it was a massive space station obliterated in near orbit. Oh, fans? You know they calculated everything. The fallout, burning debris, radiation, orbital decay, all of that raining down on Endor like fire. In reality, that moon should have become an ecological graveyard. Scientists and Star Wars nerds alike crunched the numbers, and the results were not pretty. Think mass extinctions instead of dance parties. Now, of course, the movies gave us teddy bears celebrating victory, but according to this theory, the true ending is darker. Ewok bones buried under rubble and ash. Now, if Endor's fate turned grim, then the sequel trilogy gave us another puzzle. Who exactly was Snoke? Now, if you're liking the idea of toasting marshmallow Ewoks, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Okay, so when Snoke first appeared in The Force Awakens, fans immediately connected him to Darth Plagueis, the mysterious Sith Master Palpatine mentioned in Sith.
In the hands of your father, Han Solo.
He means nothing to me.
Even you, Master of the Knights of Ren, have never faced such a test.
Now, the pieces fit all a little bit too well. A deformed figure, obsessed with immortality, pulling strings for the shadows. Mr. Plague Boy was said to manipulate life itself, a perfect lead-in for somebody guiding the First Order. Now, the theory dominated fan forums until Last Jedi killed Snoke in a shocking mid-film twist. Oh, and The Rise of Skywalker revealed him as one of Palpatine's clones. Still, a lot of people insist Snoke was Mr. Plaguey originally before Disney's sequel course corrections. It's the kind of theory that lingers because it feels a little too neat and also a little too wasted. But if Mr. Snoke and Toke's identity was debated, Rey's parentage was an outright freaking battlefield. So before canon declared Rey a Palpatine, which, whatever, fans were convinced that she was a Kenobi. Now the clues were everywhere. The accent, her Force visions echoing Obi-Wan's voice, and her instinctive Jedi skills. In Awakens, she even wields Anakin's lightsaber with uncanny ease, something that felt more like destiny than coincidence, and also one of the biggest issues I had with the movie. You guys, I can close my eyes and then open them and I'm a master at the lightsaber. Anyway, Obi-Wan's life in exile left a lot of gaps. Could he have had a kid? Could he have passed down his legacy in secret? This theory gave Rey's arc a tragic poetry, the granddaughter of Kenobi redeeming the grandson of Skywalker. Even Daisy Ridley admitted the mystery kept changing during filming. For many, Rey being a Kenobi still makes way more emotional sense than the granddaughter of Palpatine reveal that we got. But if Rey's bloodline was debated, Vader's identity gave rise to one of the strangest theories of all. Mr. is one of the most iconic villains in cinema history. But some fans argue the man under the mask might not be Anakin Skywalker at all, at least not in the original trilogy. Now this theory suggests that Palpatine replaced the burned Anakin with a clone, a way of keeping his apprentice controllable and his secrets safe. Evidence? Vader's noticeably different demeanor between trilogies, his lack of personal recognition in certain scenes, and Palpatine's obsession with cloning seen later in Skywalker. Now, if true, the redemption of Vader in Jedi takes on a surreal twist. Luke didn't save his dad, he saved a manufactured copy with fragments of Anakin inside. But while that theory pushes Vader into the bizarre, Yoda's role is way more subtle, maybe a little too subtle. From the start, Yoda seemed uneasy about Anakin. In Menace, he warns that fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering.
Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
Later in Clones, he senses Anakin's pain after Shmi's death, but he doesn't do anything. Now, the theory here argues that Yoda foresaw Anakin's eventual betrayal, but allowed events to play out as part of the Jedi's long game. Now, maybe he believed the prophecy of the Chosen One, requiring balance through destruction. Maybe he knew the Order was already doomed. His quiet acceptance in exile in Dagobah could almost be read as guilt, or confirmation that he always knew the fall of Skywalker was inevitable. So, what are you thinking? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll catch you next time.